When a social media influencer struts into a courtroom with bubble wrap and bravado, will Judge Caprio's legendary patience be enough to handle the audacity of a generation? In a courtroom where respect is paramount, one influencer's antics threaten to turn justice into a viral spectacle. Will Judge Caprio restore order or let chaos reign? Friday afternoon brings digital arrogance to Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom. Jack Doherty enters while loudly popping bubble wrap he brought with him. He's the 20-year-old social media influencer with millions of followers. He spins a stress ball on his finger while making clicking sounds with his tongue repeatedly. Jack sits at the defendant's table while peeling and eating an orange noisily. He drops the peels on the floor deliberately. He shows zero respect for the courtroom environment or the serious cyberbullying charges he faces. Judge Caprio has presided over many cases involving modern technology crimes. But today's charges will test his legendary patience when social media fame meets real-world consequences in the most disrespectful manner. Mr. Doherty, Judge Caprio begins with firm authority. You're facing multiple serious charges, including cyberbullying of minors, harassment through social media platforms, and inciting violence against a local business. The allegations involve your live stream targeting teenager Emma Rodriguez. How do you respond to these grave charges? Jack pops bubble wrap loudly before answering with smugness. Your Honor, this whole situation is totally blown out of proportion by people who don't understand how content creation actually works. Some people get triggered when they encounter real internet influence. I'm not responsible if offline people can't handle modern digital entertainment. The courtroom gallery reacts with shocked murmurs from parents and community members. Several high school students shake their heads in disappointment. An elderly woman covers her ears as Jack continues making noise. From the witness section, Detective Maria Santos speaks clearly for the record. Your Honor, Mr. Doherty didn't just create harmful content. He live-streamed to 40,000 viewers while encouraging them to harass a 16-year-old girl at her after-school job. He directed followers to flood the business with fake negative reviews and threatening phone calls. Jack responds with casual cruelty that horrifies everyone present. I simply created engaging content that my audience requested. People should understand that internet fame requires bold entertainment choices. If some random teenager couldn't handle being featured in viral content, that's natural selection in the digital age. Judge Caprio's expression grows serious as he reviews the extensive digital evidence file. Mr. Doherty, according to cybercrime investigators and social media platform reports, you specifically targeted Emma Rodriguez with a coordinated harassment campaign that lasted 3 days. Is that allegation accurate? Your Honor, I was exercising my fundamental right to create content and engage my audience. If other people got emotional about my creative process, that's their personal inability to adapt to internet culture, not my legal responsibility. The callous dismissal of targeted harassment shocks everyone present. Judge Caprio maintains his composure while examining the detailed evidence of digital stalking. Mr. Doherty, the incident began when Emma Rodriguez politely asked you to stop filming customers at her workplace without consent. What was your specific objection to respecting basic privacy boundaries? Jack's response reveals his complete disconnect from human decency. Your Honor, I refuse to let random NPCs dictate my content creation process. This girl was trying to limit my artistic freedom because she doesn't understand how internet fame operates. Privacy is dead anyway. Smart creators embrace viral opportunities. Several parents in the gallery audibly gasp at his characterization of Emma as a non-player character. A teenager in the front row whispers, he talks about people like they're not real. Detective Santos provides crucial testimony about the harassment campaign. Your Honor, after Emma asked Mr. Doherty to respect customer privacy, he live-streamed her personal information, including her work schedule and social media accounts, to 40,000 viewers. He said, quote, "This NPC needs to learn what happens when you mess with Jack Doherty." Jack shows no remorse for endangering a minor. I was educating my audience about standing up to people who try to cancel content creators. Critical thinking requires challenging individuals who attempt to suppress internet influence through social pressure. Judge Caprio decides to bring forward Emma Rodriguez herself. Mr. Doherty, Emma Rodriguez is present in this courtroom today. She's the 16-year-old you targeted with your harassment campaign. Emma, would you like to address the court about this incident? A quiet teenage girl approaches the witness stand nervously. She wears her school uniform and carries herself with the fragility of someone who's been traumatized by online abuse. Despite her obvious anxiety, she speaks with surprising strength. Your Honor, Mr. Doherty turned my life into a nightmare for defending customer privacy at work. When he live-streamed my personal information, thousands of his followers started messaging me death threats and showing up at my school. Emma's voice becomes emotional but remains controlled. I had to change my phone number 3 times. My family received threatening calls at home. I couldn't sleep for weeks because strangers were posting my address online and saying they knew where I lived. Jack interrupts with chilling coldness. Emma, I'm sorry you couldn't handle internet attention, but viral fame requires thick skin. The real issue is that you tried to limit my content creation rights, instead of embracing the opportunity to become internet famous yourself. The courtroom erupts in outrage from parents and community members. Several people stand up furiously. Judge Caprio pounds his gavel while his face shows controlled fury at this attack on a traumatized minor. Mr. Doherty, you will show respect for this witness or face additional charges. Emma, please continue with your testimony. Emma continues with remarkable composure despite Jack's cruelty. Your Honor, I never wanted internet fame. I just wanted to do my job serving customers without being filmed without permission. He turned asking for basic respect into a 3-day harassment campaign. Jack responds with stunning insensitivity. Emma, real customer service means being camera-ready for content creators. Businesses that restrict filming are limiting their viral marketing potential. You should have thanked me for the exposure opportunity. Judge Caprio has heard enough callous dismissal of human dignity. Mr. Doherty, let me understand clearly. You believe that requesting privacy from unauthorized filming justifies coordinated online harassment of a minor? Exactly, Your Honor. Internet culture rewards creators who push boundaries and challenge people who resist viral content. That's how digital influence grows, by overcoming obstacles and teaching lessons to people who don't understand internet economics. The suggestion that harassment teaches lessons horrifies the courtroom. Emma begins crying quietly while other teenagers show visible fear. Judge Caprio addresses Jack's fundamental misunderstanding of legal boundaries in digital spaces. Mr. Doherty, creating content doesn't grant unlimited access to other people's privacy or workspace. Businesses have the right to prohibit unauthorized filming of customers. Jack scoffs dismissively. That's outdated thinking from people who don't understand modern content creation, Your Honor. Everything is content now. Privacy is just resistance to digital evolution. Smart businesses embrace influencer partnerships. Privacy is a legal right, not resistance to evolution. Privacy is whatever content creators need it to be to maximize engagement and build audience loyalty. It's been eliminated by social media platforms anyway. Intelligent people adapt to viral culture instead of fighting inevitable digital progress. Judge Caprio recognizes this requires education about consent and harassment laws in the digital age. Mr. Doherty, millions of content creators respect privacy boundaries while building successful online careers. Creating content doesn't require violating other people's consent or safety. Jack remains dismissive. Your Honor, viral content requires pushing boundaries that normal people won't cross. Successful influencers understand that controversy drives engagement. Respecting everyone's comfort zones kills creativity and limits growth potential. Judge Caprio examines extensive evidence of the business destruction and community impact. Mr. Doherty, Luna's Cafe received over 300 fake negative reviews within 24 hours after your harassment campaign began. The business lost 60% of daily customers and had to hire private security due to threatening visitors. Owner Maria Rodriguez had to close temporarily and consider bankruptcy. How do you justify systematically destroying an honest immigrant family business? Because businesses that restrict content creation deserve market consequences, Your Honor. When Luna's Cafe tried to limit my filming rights and creative freedom, they declared war on internet culture and digital innovation. My audience simply provided appropriate feedback through online review platforms and community engagement activities. Emma speaks from the witness stand with quiet dignity despite her trauma. Mr. Doherty, Luna's Cafe is owned by my Aunt Maria, who immigrated here 15 years ago with nothing. She built that business serving the community with love and homemade recipes. Your followers nearly destroyed her American dream because I asked you to respect customer privacy for 5 minutes. Jack's response shows complete moral bankruptcy and heartless cruelty. Emma, businesses that can't adapt to viral marketing opportunities don't deserve to survive in the modern digital economy. Your aunt should have embraced the influencer partnership opportunity and free promotional exposure instead of resisting inevitable technological progress. Detective Santos provides additional testimony about the scope of digital harassment. Your Honor, our cybercrime investigation revealed that Mr. Doherty's followers created 47 fake social media accounts specifically to harass Emma Rodriguez. They posted her home address, school schedule, and family members' workplace information. The harassment included death threats, sexual content, and images of weapons sent to a 16-year-old girl. Jack dismisses the severity with shocking callousness. Detective, that's normal internet culture when someone tries to cancel a content creator. My audience was defending creative freedom against social justice warriors who want to destroy viral entertainment. Emma learned valuable lessons about internet consequences. Judge Caprio has witnessed enough digital cruelty and destruction of vulnerable people. Mr. Doherty, you used your platform with 40,000 active viewers to coordinate systematic attacks against a family business and traumatize a 16-year-old girl. How do you justify using internet influence to harm innocent community members? Your Honor, sometimes viral success and audience growth require teaching lessons to people who resist digital culture evolution. If Emma and her immigrant family couldn't handle modern content creation consequences and internet feedback, they need to adapt to digital reality or face natural community correction. The suggestion that coordinated harassment teaches lessons and immigrant families deserve destruction sends waves of anger through parents and community members in the courtroom. Judge Caprio decides Jack needs comprehensive education about digital responsibility and real-world human consequences. Mr. Doherty, you have constitutional rights to create content and build an online career through legitimate entertainment. You have absolutely no right to coordinate harassment campaigns against minors or systematically destroy family businesses that serve this community. Jack makes one final attempt to justify his digital cruelty toward vulnerable people. Your Honor, content creation in the modern viral era sometimes requires bold strategic moves that offline people find uncomfortable. Real influencers must push cultural boundaries and overcome resistance to build authentic audience engagement and sustainable revenue streams. There's nothing authentic about coordinating harassment campaigns against children and immigrant family businesses. Judge Caprio outlines his comprehensive decision with careful consideration for digital accountability. Mr. Doherty, your behavior demonstrated profound disrespect for human dignity, minor safety, and community business stability. You weaponized your internet platform against vulnerable people for entertainment profit. This requires serious consequences and comprehensive digital literacy education. First, a fine of $25,000 for cyberbullying and systematic harassment of a minor through social media coordination. Second, complete prohibition from all social media platforms for 6 months while you undergo mandatory digital responsibility counseling with licensed therapists. Jack looks horrified at losing his online presence and revenue stream. Your Honor, that's essentially destroying my career and violating my constitutional free speech rights. You can't punish me by removing my ability to create content and connect with my loyal audience community. You should have considered career consequences before using your platform to terrorize children and destroy family businesses. Third, Judge Caprio continues, 50 hours of mandatory community service at cyberbullying prevention organizations, where you'll personally educate young people about the real-world psychological consequences of online harassment campaigns. Fourth, you'll complete comprehensive courses on digital citizenship and internet ethics, learning the legal difference between legitimate content creation and coordinated harassment campaigns against private citizens. Fifth, you'll write personal apology letters to Emma Rodriguez and the Rodriguez family, acknowledging the trauma you caused without defending your content creation choices. Finally, you'll create educational content about cyberbullying prevention and digital responsibility. This content will be reviewed by the court and used to help other young influencers understand the consequences of online cruelty for profit. Jack protests desperately against these comprehensive requirements and digital accountability measures. Your Honor, forcing me to create anti-bullying content violates my artistic integrity and creative autonomy. You're making me produce content that directly contradicts my brand identity and audience expectations that I've built over years. Judge Caprio's response addresses fundamental digital accountability principles. Mr. Doherty, your brand identity involves systematically terrorizing children and destroying immigrant family businesses for profit and entertainment. Creating educational content will teach you that genuine influence should help communities, not harm vulnerable people for viral content. Additionally, your mandatory community service will show you the real psychological impact of cyberbullying on young people's mental health, academic performance, and family stability. Maybe you'll learn something about using internet fame and platform reach responsibly. Emma addresses Jack one final time with remarkable strength and maturity. Mr. Doherty, I hope working directly with other bullying victims teaches you that people behind computer screens are real human beings with feelings and families and dreams. What you did to me and my aunt's business destroyed our sense of safety in our own community. 4 months later, Jack returns to Judge Caprio's courtroom for his final compliance review hearing. He enters quietly and shows immediate respect for court proceedings and authority. His attitude and entire demeanor have changed dramatically through his community service experience with harassment victims. Judge Caprio reviews his extensive compliance documentation carefully. Mr. Doherty, your service supervisors report that your work with cyberbullying victims was respectful, helpful, and genuinely appreciated by families. Your educational content has been viewed by thousands of young people and shared by anti-bullying organizations. Tell me specifically what you've learned from this experience. Jack stands with obvious humility and genuine reflection on his previous behavior. Your Honor, 4 months ago I thought online influence meant I could do whatever got the most views and engagement. I've learned that real influence means using your platform to help people and build communities, not hurt vulnerable individuals for entertainment profit. He continues with visible emotion and authentic understanding. Working directly with cyberbullying victims taught me that every person behind a screen has real feelings, real problems, and real families who love them. Emma and her family didn't deserve what I did to them. I used my platform as a weapon for content instead of a tool for positive community building. Emma speaks with remarkable forgiveness and wisdom beyond her years. Mr. Doherty, thank you for learning that internet fame should build people up and support communities, not tear individuals down for viral entertainment. I hope other influencers learn from your experience and choose kindness over cruelty. Judge Caprio nods with evident satisfaction at his genuine transformation. Mr. Doherty, you entered this courtroom believing internet fame justified systematically harming real people for content creation. You're leaving with deep understanding that true influence means taking personal responsibility for the real-world impact of your digital content choices. The charges are dismissed. You've learned that creating content requires respecting other people's dignity, safety, and community businesses. Real influence helps families and communities thrive. It doesn't destroy them for entertainment profit. Later that day, Judge Caprio writes his thoughtful final case note with deep reflection on digital responsibility. When digital influence becomes a weapon against vulnerable people and community businesses, justice must teach that viral fame carries serious real-world responsibility for human consequences. The internet isn't separate from human decency. It's an extension of community values and moral obligations. True influence builds communities and protects vulnerable individuals. It doesn't destroy them for entertainment profit and viral fame. Outside the courthouse, Jack Doherty begins rebuilding his career around positive content creation, having learned that lasting success comes from helping people rather than harming them for entertainment.